All right, today we're going to tear into one of the most blistering, direct, and, let's be honest, savage breakup songs ever written. But here's the twist. This isn't about romance. Nope. This is about the bitter end of a friendship, a cultural scene, and maybe even an entire way of thinking. We are breaking down the lyrical architecture of Bob Dylan's 1965 classic, Positively 4th Street, a song that basically wrote the rulebook for the musical takedown.
Right from the first note, Dylan just wastes zero time. These first two lines, they aren't some gentle intro, they're a straight-up punch to the gut. This isn't just a hook to get you listening, it's his entire argument. A declaration of war that tells the person he's singing to, and all of us listening, that the very foundation of their relationship is a complete and total lie.
So in this opening salvo, Dylan doesn't just, hint at some disagreement. He goes right for the throat. He directly attacks the subject's claim of friendship, framing it as a massive act of betrayal from the very beginning. I mean, the imagery here is just so brutal, isn't it? It's not just that this friend didn't help him out. It's that they actually took pleasure in his struggle. They were grinning. Dylan is painting this picture of a character who isn't just unhelpful, but is actively cruel, someone whose loyalty is only tied to whoever's on top. And that really gets to the heart of it in these opening verses. The friendship just isn't real. It's all a performance, right? A strategic move to be seen with whoever's winning. Dylan is calling out some profound hypocrisy, and believe me, he is just getting warmed up. Okay, so now that he's established their actions as totally insincere, Dylan decides to go even deeper. He moves from what they did to who they fundamentally are. And this is where he starts to just dismantle their entire self-image, exposing all these false pretenses. Wow, this line is just surgically precise in its cruelty. Think about it. He denies them even the dignity of having once had integrity. I mean, to lose your faith, you have to have it in the first place. Dylan just says, nope, you never did. And deep down, you know I'm right. It's an absolutely devastating psychological blow. So why all the hate? Well, Dylan offers his theory. It's all about social circles and who belongs where. His accusation is basically, the only reason you're trashing me now is because I've moved on from your little scene. He frames their criticism not as some valid point, but as the petty resentment of someone who got left behind. And from there, the song shifts. It goes from these general accusations to a very specific, almost cinematic scene. This is where Dylan exposes that huge gap between how people act in public and what they're really feeling inside, and it's a moment pretty much anyone can recognize. We've all been there, right? That incredibly awkward run-in with someone you have a really bitter history with. Dylan just captures the complete phoniness of it perfectly. That fake surprise, the empty, nice words. He hears good luck, and he can just feel the venom dripping from it.
And this right here is the crucial point. Dylan would actually rather have open hostility than this fake kindness. It's the lie that's so insulting to him. He's demanding some brutal honesty, challenging this person to just drop the social mask and show their true face, no matter how ugly it is.
And that brings us to the song's legendary climax. This is the moment where Dylan turns the tables completely. He uses this classic appeal for empathy as the setup for his most devastating and final judgment.
At first listen, this almost sounds nice, right? Walk a mile in my shoes, a classic plea for understanding, but it's a total trap. He is not offering a path to empathy here. He is setting up the final, brutal punchline of the entire song. And there it is, the knockout blow. He starts by acknowledging their unhappiness, how they're dissatisfied with their position and their place. And then he weaponizes it with probably the coldest line in the whole song. If you were me for just 1 second, you would finally understand what a complete and total drag it is to see you. And ultimately, that's the final verdict. It is a complete and total severance. He's not just ending a friendship, he is erasing any sense of responsibility for how the other person feels. It is an absolute shutdown, and it's what cements the song as the gold standard of musical takedowns.
So, now that we've walked through this lyrical assault, let's kind of zoom out for a second. Why has such a specific, angry song like this one endured for over half a century? Well, the answer is in its legacy and in its role as a personal declaration of independence for Dylan himself. Get this, he has performed this song live at least 365 times. Just think about that for a second. A song this personal, this venomous, wasn't some one-off thing he did in the studio. It became a staple of his public identity, performed over and over again for decades, like a constant reminder of a line he had drawn in the sand.
And the song's importance was immediate and it was lasting. It was a hit single right out of the gate in '65. It was made official on his first greatest hits album just a year later, and it was still being picked for major archival releases 50 years on.
And you know what? This isn't even a complete list. The fact that it's constantly on these major compilations proves this wasn't just some popular track. No, it's an essential piece of the Dylan story. It's like a key text for understanding his huge, controversial pivot from acoustic folk hero to electric rock and roll visionary. So we end where the song ends, with these chilling, absolutely unforgettable lines. They perfectly summarize the song's entire emotional journey, from an accusation all the way to a final cold dismissal. It's just a masterclass in turning personal pain into powerful, enduring art.
And that really leaves us with this final question. Why does a piece of art that is this confrontational still hit so hard? Is it the raw, unfiltered honesty? Is it that universal feeling of being betrayed? Or is it just the sheer, brutal craft of the language? Whatever the reason, Positively 4th Street remains a vital, shocking, and totally brilliant piece of work. Thanks for joining this breakdown.